CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. Hospital care in Alberta is once again in the spotlight, and the province's official opposition is launching a petition to declare a state of emergency. Emergency physicians have warned Premier Danielle Smith and her health ministers that overcrowding in Alberta hospitals is leading to dangerous delays in care. In January, ER doctors sent the province a 6-page letter detailing 6 recent deaths and dozens of near misses in overcrowded hospitals since January 1st. One case describes a woman in her 90s waiting 8 hours for a bed while in septic shock. This morning, NDP leader Naheed Nenshi announced a petition on the party website.
It's been over a month since we heard the story about someone dying, a young father, dying in the waiting room waiting for care at the Grey Nuns Hospital in Edmonton. Since then, doctors, nurses, frontline workers have bravely spoken out. They've showed us that this tragedy was not just a single event, but a symptom of a healthcare system in crisis.
Nenshi is also calling on the Premier to call an emergency session of the provincial legislature. A family is recovering from a fire that broke out in their garage in Monterey Park on Sunday. Flames and smoke could be seen coming from the garage in the 100 block of Del Rio Place Northeast yesterday afternoon around 5:15. The flames spread to the home and damaged a vehicle parked outside. Nobody in the home was injured, but one firefighter suffered minor injuries fighting the fire itself. It's not known what sparked the blaze. Calgary police are still looking for 3 people for an assault with a weapon. It happened around 4 a.m. on January 25th. Police say 3 people got out of a white Honda Civic near a convenience store on 17th Avenue Southeast and approached the victim. One hit the victim in the head while the other 2 yelled at him before all 3 ran back to the vehicle and drove away. Police say the offenders are between 17 and 20 years old. Contact police or Crime Stoppers with any information. The Federal Conservative Party convention is wrapped up in Calgary with Danielle Smith addressing the crowd on the final day. Alicia Fielberg reports.
Congratulations, of course, to our leader, Pierre Poilievre, who won 87% of the vote.
Alberta's premier showed her support after Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre received overwhelming support from his party. Smith spoke to the crowd on the final day of the federal party's convention in Calgary.
Pierre Poilievre and our Conservatives believe in our Constitution, in leaving the provinces to be provinces, focusing on what the federal government needs to do.
She said that includes bail reform and building a new pipeline to the West Coast.
She's there for us and there to stand up for Alberta. Conservatives have come together this weekend to talk about hope and how we can keep this nation going in the right direction.
The Premier took jabs at the federal Liberals, but not current Prime Minister Mark Carney.
For 10 years, we saw a Prime Minister that did everything he could to devastate the West and drive our investment and jobs out.
But she steered clear of the possibility of an Alberta referendum about separation.
I think Albertans are smarter than that, and I think they are annoyed and unhappy, and they will say, well, that makes more problems than it's worth, and a united Canada is where we need to be right now.
Poilievre will lead the party in the next federal election. Recent polling shows he faces stiff competition.
25% of Conservatives think that Mark Carney is doing a good job. So the work isn't over for Pierre Poilievre. It's just a question of how much time he has and whether he can turn things around.
But many at the convention are confident.
I know that he'll lead the Conservatives back to victory in the next election.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Thousands of Alberta government workers are heading back to work in their offices full-time. Sunday marked the official end of the province's hybrid work option implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic. More than 12,000 workers participated in hybrid arrangements. The union says its members are being ordered back to boost local economies, an accusation the government rejects. Angels Cafe near Edworthy Park is now officially closed. The park will become a construction site as the city works to repair the Bearspaw water feeder main. As a result, the city terminated the lease with the popular cafe, saying there was no way it could continue to operate at its current location.
The seniors on both Beauview and the Colonel Belcher come down here on a regular basis. our cancer friends, those that are going through tough times that need a respite where they can come down and find some peace by the water and have a bowl of soup or just be loved on by my staff. From the kids that grew up and the many generations of kids that have been part of the business.
Over the next few days, Jacobs and her staff will pack up the cafe and hope another opportunity will come up. She has to be out of the building by Thursday. Calgary's Vietnamese community is welcoming in the Year of the Horse.
We are hosting our annual Tet Lunar New Year celebration. So we do this every year, and on average we have about 2,000 folks who come to attend the event. It connects them to their heritage as well as exposes the young generation to their roots.
The celebration included performances, food, and cultural displays. The Year of the Horse is associated with energy, freedom, confidence, and forward momentum. Don't put those winter coats away just yet. Balzac Billy says we're in for another 6 weeks of winter. The Groundhog Day tradition was held this morning at Bluegrass Nursery and Garden Center. Billy popped out at about 8 in the morning, saw his shadow, and gave the thumbs down. But there were mixed reports across the country. Wyerton Willie in Ontario and Fred Lamarmont in Quebec both said spring is on the way. And Nova Scotia's Shubenacadie Sam didn't even bother getting out of bed. When the cold does finally return in Calgary, police are reminding you not to leave your vehicle running. Operation Cold Start has begun across the province. Police will be checking unattended, idling vehicles to see if the keys are in them and if they are properly secured. Investigators say vehicle thefts can drive up insurance costs, and often stolen vehicles are used to commit other crimes. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnewscalgary.ca.